Bill, Suzanne, that's right. As you know, since Wednesday, I've been touring the Grand Strand all the way up from the Dunes Club, all the way down past Murrells Inlet. And I thought I'd never see anything again like I saw yesterday when houses had been ripped off their foundation and were lying in the middle of the road. That is until I went up in the helicopter today. And I think it's fair to say, folks, you're not going to believe what you're about to see. From the sky, the damage to the Grand Strand is staggering. Garden City, where nearly every house is destroyed. Where Hurricane Hugo slapped back utility poles, where it threw mobile homes into a creek. The damage continues up the Grand Strand into downtown Myrtle. This is the hotel where Channel 9 did its live reports as Hugo was coming. 12 hours later, the entire bottom part of the Holiday Inn was destroyed. And just as Hugo angrily, violently pushed its way into people's homes and lives, people now are trying to push the effects of Hugo back out to sea. The sand that now covers much of the Grand Strand is slowly, painstakingly being returned to the beach. And now, before we show you our last pictures, let me show you this. 2 days ago, just before Hugo struck, at my father's house overlooking Murrells Inlet, he and I nailed boards over his windows, hoping for the best. But that didn't happen. The waves came right into Dad's house, took out many of his possessions, pushed his car 20 feet off the driveway, picked up his little storage shed, and moved it across the street. The house is now a total loss, and like so many other families up and down the Carolinas coast, Hugo will never be forgotten by our family. And you know, to make matters worse, Thursday, the day Hugo hit, was Dad's birthday.
A typical scene in Charleston after the storm. A family walking a few miles from a shelter to their home. It's a natural curiosity. What happened to my house, my yard, my car? The news for many, many people is not good. Once a family has picked its way through a street made unfamiliar by fallen trees, it is likely to find a house with no roof and a flooded first floor. Rooms without walls are common sights.
The wind was what was so scary. It was really, think about the houses. I mean, they just moved both ways and up, and it was really scary.
What happened to the house you were staying in?
A big oak tree in the front and a big huckleberry tree in the back, but they both missed the house, but we did lose a back roof.
Once the thanks has been given for surviving, the real work must begin. And for the next few weeks, it's going to be done without the benefit of electricity. But there is no doubt that it will be done, that the graceful tree-lined streets and horse-drawn carriages will return. It won't come easy, it won't come fast, but Charlestonians promise that it will come.
This very proud city has weathered storms and hurricanes, tornadoes and earthquakes, and each time this city rebuilt itself. Its history is a proud one, and so we put Hugo in that context.
There are no answers to most questions in Charleston this evening. No one knows for sure when the power will be back on, or how long it will be before fresh water starts coming through the taps. The only thing that is certain is the determination that this city will return. In the aftermath of Hurricane Hugo, Charleston residents have talked a lot about their history, and they say that they will restore that history and that they will rebuild. In some cases, that is going to be much more difficult than in others. David Haynes, Channel 9 Eyewitness News, Charleston.
It's the kind of thing that vitalizes life, and people will remember where they were and what they were doing, and they'll remember the specific place, and children will tell this to their grandchildren, and they'll tell it to their great-grandchildren. In fact, one of the most fascinating things about history is it's constantly expanding. And now Charlotte's history will always have Hugo in it. It'll have Hugo and Hugo. Hornets Hugo and this Hugo.
We're looking now at Biddle Hall at Johnson C. Smith University.
Memories? Or?
Yeah, memories.
Why? Tell us about this and its significance with Charlotte's disaster history.
Well, the bell up in the top of that tower rang on August 31st, 1886. And the reason that it rang was because the earth shook. There was actually a revival meeting being held, and the Charleston earthquake, it seems like we always get it from Charleston, doesn't it, came in August of 1886, and the people who were in front of that building were just absolutely frightened. And so this earthquake was remembered. Now, it's forgotten. Most people don't know it. Most people do not remember what they did not experience. But that was there were 4 tremors that night, and it scared people a great deal, and was something that was remembered just as Hugo will be remembered.
We really catch it from Charleston.
Charleston earthquake, Charleston Hugo.
Our neighbors.
That's correct.
Dr. Morrill, thank you for giving us your special slant on Hurricane Hugo.
More than happy to do it.
Thank you.
Saturday, 11 p.m., the National Guard moves in.
National Guard troops roll into Charlotte, ready to keep vigil over a dark and damaged city. The governor took 2 big steps today, ordering in the Guard and officially asking President Bush for some help.
Group of about 25 National Guard MPs arrived here at the National Guard Armory about an hour and a half ago. They are right now being briefed by city and county police, and they're going to be determining where and what parts of our city they will be patrolling. About 175 more National Guard MPs are on their way. As a matter of fact, you're looking at some of them that have just arrived just moments ago. They're getting gassed up, and then they're going to be heading out onto Charlotte streets until dawn. They're involved with what's called a deterrence show of force mission. The MPs began arriving at 9:30, and all 200 will assist Charlotte police to patrol areas of the city where looting and break-ins are most likely. They'll be operating out of these Humvee mobile units and police cars, and they'll be carrying loaded M16s.
Our military presence is just simply a support to the local police, and I don't know that it's going to deter any more than anyone else that's watching and looking, and hopefully we won't have to take any direct action. But we are prepared to do that.
And there will be more help from the state on its way to Charlotte.
For traffic control, we need the presence in the intersections come, Monday when people start going back to work again, because the traffic lights are not going to be working. There's just no way for Duke Power to get it all up. There's 400 and some of them that are down, and it's impossible. So we need presence of them, and they will be working on state-numbered roads only, and that'll free up our people to do the other roads.
Now, Mayor Myrick says that about 100 National Guardsmen will be out helping with Charlotte traffic tomorrow. The idea is to try and cut down on the number of people who are driving a little too wildly in our city, where so many of our traffic lights are not functioning properly. As for these National Guard MPs in terms of security, the mayor says they will be here patrolling our streets from dark until dawn, just as long as they are needed.
And obviously, besides water, you need food. And the scramble for food at the grocery stores has been a real adventure today for most folks. Today, people were lined up to buy their groceries, even if there were no lights at the stores. The stores were able to make arrangements to get other staples sent into Charlotte stores from Greensboro and other cities. Tonight, those staples started coming in. And at this Winn-Dixie store, clerks were filling up the shelves. Things with canned goods and cereals had been all taken off the shelves very quickly today. And for those who were doing their share of barbecuing something else, new bags of charcoal were hauled in.
I think I could deal with anything but going through another hurricane like we did. I don't believe I'd like to do anything like that again. Hopefully I won't have to in my lifetime.